This is the last question, and we have 4 minutes left on this call. Abdullah, what's one key takeaway or insight from your overall experience that you would like to share? It could be a one-line experience, it could be a one-line insight, or it could be anything. What's your takeaway?
My key takeaway is I mentioned this at the start as well, and I'm a very strong follower of this. Never stop believing, right? And that directly relates to having a sane mental state of mind as well,
Oh
right?
yes.
And that is something a very close friend of mine told me in the beginning. I wasn't, it was new for me. I wasn't in a very good headspace.
Mm,
He
mm,
told me one thing. He said, mentally strong होना यहाँ पे बहुत जरूरी है. Because if you're not mentally strong, right, you won't be able to work properly, study properly, apply for jobs properly, earn money properly, socialize properly. You won't be able
mm,
to do anything, and especially in a new alien foreign place like
yeah,
the UK,
yeah,
right? So you have to just keep believing that I can, inshallah, do it,
yeah.
right? Keep praying, have a strong connection with Allah, that whatever's gonna happen is going to happen from Allah, right? Just keep believing in that, and always try, keep giving you 100%. Never get disheartened. People get a lot of setbacks. I know a friend who got a job. He was about to go shopping for his office clothes, and he got
Mm,
the job offer has been withdrawn, right?
wow.
I've seen, and now he's got, Alhamdulillah, and now he's got a
Yeah,
sponsored
yeah.
from the company. I've seen people facing such setbacks, but they do not give up. So do not give up. If it's meant for you, that guy had 1 month left in the expiry of his PSW, right?
Okay.
A month before his visa got approved.
Yeah, yeah.
So just keep trying. If you're meant to live in the UK, you will live in the UK. You won't even know where the sponsorship comes from.
That's very true. Or you know what? ये जो बात थी ना, never stop believing. I know we have run out of time now, but मैंने अपने कमरे में एक सूरत लगाई हुई है जो कि अल्लाह ताला ने हज़रत सल्लम पे उतारी थी when he was actually depressed. I can't recall the name of the surah. वो मेरे पीछे लगी हुई है दीवार के ऊपर. But that सूरत it really does help you क्योंकि until and unless आपका faith strong नहीं है, until and unless आप इस चीज को believe नहीं करोगे कि यार जो होगा वो बेहतरी के लिए होगा, और पता है यूके हो या कहीं भी हो, it doesn't really matter. I mean, आप अपनी the thing is आपने मेहनत करनी है और आपने
Yes,
अपनी पूरी जान लगानी है, उसके बाद जो होगा वो होगा, नहीं होगा तो यार जो आगे होना है ना उसमें आप समझो कि वो अल्लाह ताला की तरफ से बेहतर था. As
exactly.
long as you go along with this mindset, you can survive in a completely alien place. यूके हो गया या कोई भी नया मुल्क हो गया, वो एक expatriate के लिए एक alien place है. With this, I'm going to conclude. Abdullah Alam, thank you so much for your time. Abdullah Alam, once again, he is analytics manager with HSBC, moved to England in 2022 and graduated in 23. Abdullah, thank you so much. And hopefully, see you in Birmingham, inshallah.
Thank you. It's been lovely
Take care,
talking.
bro. Same here,
Take
bro. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz. Perfect. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Adil. Welcome to Reconnecting Pakistan, which is an effort to bring you inspiring stories of Pakistanis who have moved abroad for education, career opportunities, and professional growth. In each episode of Reconnecting Pakistan, we will be exploring the different pathways these people use to move abroad, the challenges they faced, and how they achieved success in their respective fields. If you're thinking of moving abroad for studies, for work, anything, this interview should be of great help to you. आज हमारे साथ अब्दुल्ला आलम है. Abdullah Alam and I go a long way back to Pakistan to the year
14.
14. That's when we started our A levels together from St. Patrick's High School. Abdullah Alam currently is an analytics manager in the IT audit department of HSBC England. He moved to UK back in 2022 for his master's from Aston University and graduated with distinction in 2023. Abdullah, कैसे हैं आप? अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, अल्लाह का शुक्र. आप कैसे हैं? ठीक हैं?
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be on this
नहीं नहीं,
privileged
it's
broadcast.
It's a pleasure to have you on board, bro. Abdullah, to start off with the first question, can you please introduce yourself and tell us about your current role and where are you based exactly?
So I'm based in Birmingham. That's where I came to for my master's at Aston University, like you just said,
Mm,
about 3 years ago. It's just been over 3 years now.
mm,
Since then, I about 7 or 8 months into my time in the UK. Alhamdulillah, I got this role at HSBC.
mm.
So I'm based in the Birmingham office, which is also the UK headquarters as well. So I'm based in the internal IT audit department and I look after their data analytics. So I've been there for about 2.5 years now and
Okay,
pretty
okay.
settled in. So yeah, that's about me.
Mashallah, that's very good. Uh, Acha, so what really motivated you to leave Pakistan and move abroad? Like Pakistan, maybe I remember you graduated from LUMS back in 2020, and LUMS is the most prestigious business schools, if not the prestigious most, within Pakistan. Uh, or would it be Jai, you were working for a pretty big company as well, Descon, if I remember.
Descon Engineering.
तो
That's
फिर
right.
what happened? क्या जरूरत थी पाकिस्तान से बाहर निकलने की? Why did you move to the UK? What happened?
Yeah, basically after graduation, I worked in Pakistan for about 1.5 year, 1 year, 8 months roughly,
Hmm,
and I was working in corporate finance. Since my background was in accounting and finance, so that was a natural career path for me to take. And like a lot of graduates, like a lot of students, I didn't have that much clarity कि मैंने
hmm,
exactly किस field में जाना है या specialize किस में करना है.
hmm,
I just
hmm,
gave myself that time to explore if corporate finance is really my thing. Turns out it wasn't really my thing.
hmm,
I started developing a liking towards analytics, data insights, things were actually like storytelling,
hmm,
because that relates to my personality as well. So I
hmm,
just really, was really intrigued by that field. And in Descon, there was one of my batchmates who was the data analyst. So uska kaam dekh dekh ke and just looking at the work that he does,
hmm,
that
hmm.
really inspired me that I could really make a career out of this field. I
अच्छा.
couldn't at the time see much of a scope in Pakistan in data
Hmm,
analytics,
hmm,
to be honest.
hmm,
Now that's very good to see that a lot of companies and academic institutions are taking up on this and
hmm.
spreading this across. But
Yeah.
at the time, I just felt there's not enough in Pakistan. Plus,
Uh,
like every other Pakistani kid, I had that thing since the beginning that I need to go abroad. Uh,
yeah,
Parents didn't let me go for my
yeah, yeah.
bachelor's,
Uh,
so I made them promise that I'm gonna go for my postgrad.
from a
So
first grad.
here I am.
Perfect. Zabardast. Mashallah. Very nice. Acha, so I'm going to move on to the second section of my questionnaire, which is the pathway to moving abroad. So what pathway did you use to move to your current country, which is England? Was it a student visa? Was it a global talent visa? How did you come to the UK?
I came here on a student visa because
ठीक है.
that was my first aim, you can say,
Hmm,
that I need to gain a specialized degree in
hmm,
analytics. Hence, I chose MSc Business Analytics at Aston University.
ठीक है.
That was my primary goal. Obviously, the
हाँ,
long-term goal was to graduate and then, settle down, get a nice job in the UK, and hopefully
हाँ,
wherever things take me. So that was my route. Started with Aston,
हाँ.
and then from there on transitioned into the professional role.
ठीक है. So आप यहाँ पे आए, you chose to come here on your student visa, आप graduate हुए, you did really well, माशाल्लाह से. फिर उसके बाद, what were the key steps that you really took to secure your current opportunity? मतलब कि was it networking? Was it based on your academic results? Was it based on a particular, I mean, MT program or something? क्या था? How did you end up with this particular opportunity?
See, so okay, that's a bit of a various, like it has various angles to it.
हाँ,
So basically, I didn't join in the entry program or the graduate program. It was more of a
हम्म,
lateral hiring,
हम्म,
right? Because I had prior experience. I had almost 1 year and 8 months of working experience in corporate finance.
हम्म,
Uh, and even that was a bit related to the role that I was offered, which was basically within internal audit. Because even
अच्छा.
in finance, I was in a similar sort of a capacity. So I
ठीक है.
had that understanding about things.
हम्म.
Second, my degree helped me a lot in getting the role because
हम्म.
because obviously when I wrote that in my resume that I'm pursuing my MSc Business Analytics and
हम्म.
this is the topic of my dissertation,
हम्म.
that really made a positive impact on the interviewers as well. When I went in for my first interview, they seemed to be really inspired, or they really, really happy with the fact that I'm, pursuing my thesis in a topic
हम्म.
which was bankruptcy prediction using machine learning algorithms. So
अच्छा.
you can say it was a coincidence that
हाँ.
the HSBC role came forward and that thesis topic kind of fit into the wider organization's scope as well.
हम्म. हम्म.
And into the analytics side of things as well, because I was working on machine learning and big data. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
main factor. The
हम्म.
second was LinkedIn visibility, right?
हम्म.
Uh, and for LinkedIn visibility, that's what I tell to all my junior friends, all my fellows,
हम्म.
whoever are looking for jobs, is that I just kept on applying and applying and applying. Often at times, I would fill out lengthy applications, sit down
हम्म.
properly,
हम्म.
review out,
हम्म. Yeah.
no response even then.
Yeah.
Do the apply button, no
Yeah.
response even. But I guess what that did was it brought up my profile to recruiters. I
Yeah.
also kept optimizing my profile, changing around the bio, making my work experience more sellable, you can
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Uh, so optimizing it as much as I could. Every day I just
हम्म.
sit, review it, change things around. So, and the recruiter actually reached out to me that,
Oh,
I've come
अच्छा.
across your profile and this, we have so and so role. Would you be interested? So that
हाँ.
is how I came across this. And then
हम्म.
the most important thing, the most important two things
हम्म.
is cashing on the opportunity,
Yeah.
never letting go of the belief, right? I have seen a lot of people who from day one have this mindset, field की job नहीं मिलेगी, right?
Bro. Yes.
they
Yeah.
they come prepared to the UK कि field की job नहीं मिलेगी. So
Yeah.
they don't try that way, they don't have that mindset.
Yeah.
So obviously you're not gonna get anywhere with that, right?
Uh,
I had that belief हमेशा से, and I
uh,
think we had this conversation before I was coming. You also had plans to come to the UK before me, if you remember.
काफी टाइम से.
And
Yeah.
and I told you the same thing, and I said say that to
Mm,
everyone. Okay, if it's meant for you, if the job is destined for you,
mm,
you'll get it in the USA even. And if it's
yeah.
not destined for you, you won't get it even in Pakistan, right?
हाँ,
Just
जो बात है.
keep
Yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
keep trying, and milni hogi job, so you'll get it.
हाँ.
So that was, in a nutshell, how I landed this role at HSBC.
But that is very inspiring, माशाल्लाह से. And I completely agree with the fact कि जब अपने लोग इस माइंडसेट से होते हैं कि they won't get it. Like पाकिस्तान से हम लोग जो देखते हैं लोग जो आते हैं, a lot of them are just kind of stuck in their odd jobs. जो डिलीवरी पे लगा हुआ है, जो सिक्योरिटी में लगा हुआ है, और वो उससे बाहर भी नहीं आना चाहता क्योंकि उसको ये लगता है कि भाई फायदा नहीं है ना, मेहनत करने का फायदा नहीं है, आपके पैसे यहाँ बन रहे हैं. There's no point of sitting down and applying for a field relevant job because that's not going to happen. Uh, that's a very good point. I'm going to move on to the next section of the questionnaire, which is the challenges and adaptation of this part. Uh, what were the biggest challenges you faced during your initial days in the new country? Because I do remember you came जब COVID चल रहा था. I know the weather has gotten the best of both of us.
Yeah, sorry for that, excuse me.
That's all right. Yeah,
So in terms of challenges,
yeah.
main challenge was the cultural shock.
Mm,
I'm sure every expat faces when they come over
yeah,
from Pakistan or India or any other country.
yeah,
The cultural shock in the sense that not used to, waking up early at 7 a.m. or 6:30 every day.
yeah.
Because in our minds, it was like even if you wake up at 11:30, 12, you're still gonna get things done.
Easily. Yeah.
And when the first month or so I didn't get anything done,
Mm,
that's
mm,
when I realized that you need to get up early. You need to finish your things by the evening because the shops
yeah.
are gonna close at 8 p.m. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you need anything, just move with the world rather than
Yeah.
the world move with you. That's what we do in
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing. The second biggest challenge was socializing, social life, because like a lot of students, I also had the case where I didn't have any friends or family over here, like
Mm,
literally no one. I had a
mm,
few friends, but in different cities.
yeah,
But no one in Birmingham, no, what you call it in Pakistan, like कोई अपना नहीं था as such,
ठीक है, yeah, yeah,
so that really was a challenge in the sense that I had to do everything on my own, just like you.
ठीक है,
Um, setting up my house on my own, setting up the
mm,
entire life on my own, starting. Alhamdulillah, parents gave me a bit of money before I came.
mm, mm,
Had that survive for a couple of months, but
mm,
then beyond that, you can't really keep asking them for money, so you have to do that. That was a big challenge. Money management. Uh,
yes,
that's
yes,
something that I had never
yeah.
come across before in Pakistan. Obviously, living at home, living in a parents' homes, we all have that
You live
privilege.
in a shell when you're back home, isn't it? It's a cocoon,
Definitely.
huh?
Definitely. I mean, even if you're
Uh,
earning, even if you're contributing to the house back at
yeah,
home, you don't really have that pressure that you need to do everything on your own. And by
exactly,
everything, I
yeah,
mean you need to do the dishes yourself, your laundry,
yeah,
clean the bathroom, clean your room, study, manage your studies, travel, look after the money, then even work a part-time job.
yeah, yeah,
All of that does get quite overwhelming. Uh,
exactly, yes,
and especially if you're in a technical course like MSc
uh,
Business Analytics, like I
yeah,
was doing,
yeah, yeah,
that was in itself demanding. And like I told you at the start, it's a new field for me, right?
mm,
Because I had worked in corporate finance in Pakistan.
yeah,
So sort of learning that from scratch, you know, my peers, my colleague, my class fellows, they had
uh,
like 10 years, 15 years of experience back in India and back in
ah,
countries. They were quite experienced. There was one guy who was a data scientist at IBM in India,
it
right?
was nice, okay, uh-huh,
Competing with those sort of people,
yeah, yeah,
and professors also have that expectation that you'd already know a lot of things, whereas
uh,
you don't know anything.
yeah,
Um, that
uh,
self-learning, all of that just got a bit hard to manage, I'll be honest, in the
yeah,
beginning. But it didn't take more than a couple of months, two
yeah,
months, I think 3 months at the most. And Alhamdulillah, started settling in, made friends, you know. And the most important thing, if I was to give an advice to anyone coming over,
yeah, yeah,
start working as soon as possible, because interacting with the public
mm,
gives you confidence, gives you a whole new set of social skills that's
mm,
important to make yourself feel included in the society,
yeah,
right? I see a lot of people who say that no, we're not going to do any part-time job. We're just going to, we have money coming in from home,
yeah,
focus on the studies, all of that. Yes, I respect that. Obviously, सबकी अलग situation होती है.
yeah,
Rather than just the money, it's very important for your confidence building. The
exactly,
day
yes,
I started working, the first month and a half, I worked in hospitality, like in
mm,
catering, front of
mm,
house stuff.
mm, mm,
So obviously you're interacting with people all the time over there. And then I moved on to work in a Subway branch for about 8 months.
yeah,
Uh, and that hugely boosted my confidence, gave me an understanding of what kind of people there are, what are
mm,
the kinds of people in this city, how to talk to what kind of a person,
exactly, or very
the social
important, yes,
etiquette,
yeah.
the social etiquette. So all of that, I could not have learned if I kept on delaying my part-time job.
Bro, the thing is, when you move to a city as a tourist, that's a different kind of expectation that you have from that place. And when you actually live there, it's a different feeling of the whole place altogether. Or I think when you start working in a particular place, that's where you really try to understand, try to, okay, what the whole city is about, what the whole place is about. So doing a job is not just for the sake of you earning that extra money for your own benefit, but it's to understand how to really conduct yourself in that place, in the whole situation. So very important point. Abdullah, how did you manage cultural or professional adjustments during your early days? कल्चरल तो चलो हमने बात कर ली कि जो है अपना एक सर्टेन सेटबैक था, बट इसको हम चलो इस तरह से देखते हैं कि जो है अपना जो आपकी प्रोफेशनल जॉब थी बैक इन पाकिस्तान और जब आपकी प्रोफेशनल जॉब है यहाँ पे, उनमें क्या डिफरेंस है? Was there any adjustment required when you moved from desk on to your current HSBC role?
Adjustment in the sense that basically the first major difference that I observed, I noticed, was that people, and it's a general culture, overall country culture as well in
Mm,
Pakistan,
mm,
and India, what I've
mm,
talked to with my friends as well, is that
mm,
in that part of the world, people are not so direct in expressing anything. For example, if in a workplace, if I disagree with Adil, right?
mm,
If I don't like the work that Adil has done, it's not always the case that, people say that it's terrible or it's not good, or like people try to talk things around. People are quite
yeah,
critical with their statements.
mm,
Uh, if you don't want to do anything, right, you won't say that I'm sorry, I can't do it, or I can't make it. You'll start coming up with excuses. You'll
yeah,
start
yeah,
thinking things around. You'll
yeah,
start being diplomatic.
yeah,
That's the way things go a lot in our
yeah,
culture. Here, I saw them being a lot more direct,
mm,
right? I've literally, obviously in a very constructive way, but I've literally even heard the words, that's a terrible piece of code, or that's a terrible coding practice
Acha, right,
here
right,
in the UK, in the
yeah,
UK.
yeah,
And it actually was terrible when I sat down and looked at it, right? It
uh,
was
uh,
terrible,
uh,
but I didn't expect anyone to say it to me. But that
ठीक है,
led me to improve. That is what led me to improve that, okay, I need to work on this, really work on
yeah,
this. So that's actually beneficial for you. So that was the main professional the culture difference. The second
mm,
thing, obviously, time management, punctuality, right? It's like, if your reporting time is 9 a.m. in Pakistan, coming to work at 9:30 or 9:45 in a lot of companies is unfortunately considered sort of normal,
ठीक है,
right?
yeah,
People
yeah,
start coming 15, 20 minutes late. Everyone
mm,
sits down, has a cup of tea, goes out for a smoke,
yeah,
comes back, talks again. It's 10 o'clock already, and then you
mm,
start. That's not the case here,
yeah,
right? Your time is 9 a.m. 9 a.m. means 9 a.m., right?
mm,
Um, so that was the one thing. And the most important thing, that the thing that I really liked, is that managers don't interfere in your lives at all. And what I mean by that is, Alhamdulillah, it's been 2.5 years, right? I've obviously taken a lot of leaves, my annual leaves
mm,
in between.
mm,
Never for once has my manager asked me that, is everything okay? Why do you need 2 weeks of a leave? Or why do you need 4 days of a leave at such a short notice?
mm,
Never. I've literally requested, 10 days of leave, 3 days in advance, right?
okay,
Just 3 days before, I told him
yeah, yeah,
I need a 10-day leave.
yeah,
Manager didn't even ask me why, because he knows it's not his job to know. I'm
yeah,
entitled to those leaves.
yeah,
That's my contractual right? And whereas back in Pakistan, and I'm not saying this just because of my company,
mm,
a lot of my friends who have seen work in different companies, managers are like really interested in knowing that, why do you want this leave?
oh yeah, 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 tell
You
me about it,
cannot have this leave,
yeah, yeah,
right? You must prioritize work above everything. Uh,
mm,
that is completely different here. They really prioritize your personal life as well. At least in HSBC, I'm privileged to be
mm,
in such a fantastic team that I've gotten, immense time off whenever I've needed.
yeah,
I've had to go away for an entire month, right? And even that's been approved, because obviously, because of family reasons. Uh,
mm.
and the only thing I heard from my boss was, all right, look after your family first, look after that first. So that's the main difference.
And I think this is where the workplace toxicity also comes in when you compare Pakistani or South Asian, not just Pakistani, actually, the South Asian market, because it's the same in India, maybe even worse in India, because I have friends from India as well, and we've spoken about this. I've had friends from Sri Lanka as well, and these were spoken about this as well. Uh, वहाँ पे there's a lot of emphasis on building a particular kind of relationship where you want to indulge in your employees' lives, like अगर छुट्टी चाहिए तो क्यों चाहिए तो and a lot of times you don't really want to tell them why you want this particular holiday. It's none of their business. It's your holiday. You're entitled to it. You can get it, bro. the fact that sick leaves, it's a basic human right. Pakistan, if you want a sick leave, I remember एक hassle था to get that sick leave. And over here, I'm entitled to sick leave and I can just call my manager in the morning or the day I have to work, कि I'm not well, I need a sick leave. और वो आपको उसी वक्त approve कर देगा without saying any other thing. ठीक है? And this is where the whole micromanagement comes in, and this is where whole employee manager relationship comes in, and this is where productivity comes in. यहाँ पे if you are given your space as an employee, if you're giving your fair share of responsibilities as an employee, आप काम भी करोगे उसके अंदर. uh, Fair analysis. अच्छा, Abdullah, how does your life abroad compare to your life back in Pakistan?
That's that again is a kind of a tough question because see, as much as me and you both, as much as we like living here
Mm,
for a better future, obviously for a
mm,
better future for us, for our loved ones,
mm,
there's no denying the fact that home is home, right? And we both know that.
mm,
Whenever I visit home, which is usually once a year, whenever
mm.
you visit home, when you can testify to the fact that
Yeah.
the feeling in itself is entirely different, right? That just feeling of being home, just that atmosphere,
Mm,
just the vibe of it, right? That's unmatchable. Even if I live my entire life in the UK, I don't think I could get that, right? So that's one thing.
बिल्कुल सही है. Mm,
Now, in terms of being realistic rather than emotional,
yeah,
um, I feel it was obviously a good decision, Alhamdulillah, to move abroad,
yeah,
uh, because I could not see myself earning that decent of an amount in a
yeah,
corporate setting at this stage of my career in
yeah,
Pakistan, right? Like as of today, is that if I was in Pakistan, yes, I would have gotten, maybe a decent increment, a decent promotion, working for a
yeah,
nice company,
yeah,
but not not at this level probably, you know.
yeah,
Things would have been tough. And then
yeah,
obviously the financial and the economic situation is so uncertain and it's gotten so fragile nowadays,
yeah,
especially in the last 2.5 years,
yeah,
that um, it doesn't really make much of a sense to go back and just stay there, because obviously at the end of the day, you have to put food on the table, you have to look after your finances. No one's going to do that for you. um,
exactly. Yeah,
Obviously, where there's not enough opportunity, it's better to look for opportunities elsewhere. So yeah, it's in that way, it's definitely better in terms of career progression,
yeah,
in terms of, and obviously it's a global market. See, uh, UK or the US or any developed country, any Western country,
mm,
they're global markets, right? You have access to the entire world from here, right?
exactly. Yes,
Our
yes,
access to things was very limited in Pakistan,
yeah,
right? And even that it was really nice to see that India has a lot of opportunities because there's a lot of global players operating in India as well,
mm,
right? People
mm.
already get a chance to work at Apple, Facebook, IBM. I know I'm missing a lot of names, but they
Amazon.
already
Yeah,
Amazon. They
yeah,
already get a chance to work at a lot of the global corporates in
mm.
India only, right? We often have to, step out and look for those opportunities elsewhere, either in the Middle East or in the UK. So in that way, it's definitely better in terms of opportunities.
That's a fair point, and also very unfortunate to be honest.
Yeah.
Uh, we're gonna move on to the last part of this questionnaire, and that is the advice and insights. So, Abdullah, what advice would you give to Pakistanis aspiring to move abroad for similar opportunities?
What advice? See, firstly, the first piece of advice would be prepared for anything. And by anything, I mean a lot of the people who come abroad, they
Mm,
just have this, I wouldn't say a delusion, but they just have this overly optimistic mindset that we're gonna move abroad, we're
Uh,
gonna, 100,000 pounds per annum salary.
yeah.
We're gonna get the passport right away, and we're gonna
Uh,
settle, right?
uh,
Believe me or not, a lot of people have that mindset, right?
yes.
And that is also partly because of the people who are already sitting in the UK. They
Yeah.
put these golden dreams, these Suhana Khwab
Yes. Yes.
uh,
Yes.
to our fellows. Because
Yeah.
even I heard the same. When I came here, I was having a word with some of my class fellows.
Yeah.
Um, and they literally said, and obviously, it was the first week, and everyone was stressed, and everyone was homesick, and everyone was,
Mm,
uncertain.
mm.
ये job चाहिए, job कैसे लगेगी? And I literally heard saying, bro, tension ना लो, तुम्हारी job लगेगी, 2 महीने की salary में तुम्हारी fees पूरी हो जाएगी. Like, by
Wow.
just
That's
working
a
2 months,
uh.
you cover 20,000 pounds of your fees,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I believed it
Uh,
at that time. I believed
uh,
it because
uh.
I needed hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, be realistic. Be realistic.
Uh,
Do your work thoroughly, right? Research your field. And if you really want to settle abroad,
mm,
make sure that the course that you're getting into, or the field of work that you're getting into is is worthy of a sponsorship here. Because as you know,
yes.
if I talk UK specific, immigration has gotten really tough for
Oh, yes.
international students, right? The salary requirement for a skilled worker visa has gone up. Previously, there was no cap. So even a fresh graduate who has no working experience, like who did their bachelor's from Pakistan,
Uh,
came right away, did their master's, entered a company at a graduate program, 25, 26,000 per annum salary,
mm,
right? Even before being sponsored.
mm.
But now the salary cap of 39,000 pounds, which I believe it is, and after
38,
some
700.
discount,
Yeah.
it's
Mm,
32,000 something, right?
uh,
That salary level, they don't offer to freshers anymore.
exactly. Yes. Yes.
That's like an associate manager level salary.
Mm,
Someone who
yeah.
has 1.5 year, 2 years of
Yeah.
experience, right? So if you don't have that, then maybe look for another way to settle in the UK, right? Maybe if you have a solid business plan, maybe if you have a big business investment,
Mm,
open up a business here. Maybe that's the route you can take.
mm,
But skilled worker visa, you need to be really particular about what you're coming into. Secondly, there's a shortage occupation list as well in the UK, right? It's on the government website,
yeah.
gov.uk. Thoroughly look into that. If you're doing just a simple business administration course or a
Uh,
simple marketing course, right?
uh,
Just a very basic BBA level type
yeah.
degree from Pakistan, will it actually land you a sponsored job? Will it actually land you a shortage occupation role? If
Uh,
not, then there's not really much for you in here. So that's the main thing, that do your homework thoroughly.
so you mentioned about the shortest occupation list, and you also mentioned about the course of choice should be worthy enough. What courses do you think are worthy enough?
I mean, first and foremost, all the basically the technical roles, I would say. And by
Mm,
technical, I don't just mean mathematics or science or
mm,
analytics. Any skilled technical labor is
mm,
high in demand, right? I know someone who's done some general electronics degree from Pakistan.
uh-huh.
Not a very reputable university,
Yeah.
but that guy is like a champion, right? He knows his way around electronics, around every manual piece of work. He knows his way around things,
Mm,
right? And he's being paid very decently here in the UK, right? He's working as a contractor or something.
so yeah.
So those kind of roles,
Mm,
right? Technical roles, as in science or in analytics, in IT, these kind of roles, they have a lot of potential to earn you a skilled worker visa.
yeah.
Anything like sales, marketing, business management, customer service,
Mm,
these kind of roles are already a lot fulfilled by the British people themselves,
yes.
right? They
Yes.
know how to talk, they know how to deal with customers.
Uh,
A lot of the gap in the job market is in this technical area that I'm talking about. So, um, yeah,
Understandable.
no
Uh,
generic career paths basically,
Completely understandable. Thank you for sharing that.
unless
Now,
you
since
plan on coming over
uh,
and marrying a British woman and getting a passport that way.
yeah, that
Um,
should never be anybody's plan.
but
That
yeah,
should never be anybody's plan. uh, since we are now running short on time, I'm going to move on to my second last question, and that would be: were there any resources or networks that really helped you during your journey that you would recommend? Any particular Facebook group, any networking platform, any advice from your senior or something?
I mean, in terms of social media, there's this one group on Facebook,
Uh,
Pakistani student UK, which you must
so
also be
good,
familiar with.
so good. Yes,
The way it helped was that, obviously reading people's success stories and just
yes,
reading different experiences gives you a lot of hope and a lot of courage that,
yeah,
even I can do this.
yes,
Um, Apart from that, yes, I did have, Alhamdulillah, I did have quite a few nice mentors.
mm,
Um, First and foremost being the one, so this educational consultancy firm who through whom I applied for my master's, Gradvisors, right? They were really helpful.
what was the name of the
Ali,
person again? Ali. Yes, yes.
so there was Ali and Zurez over
Uh,
there, and they were really helpful in guiding me. Even they even had a look at my CV even after I came here, helped me sort out
yeah,
my CV, helped me with my modules, like helped me give a direction.
uh,
Um, and then obviously the biggest resource or support being your parents, who obviously just keep giving you that push that koi baat nahi, if you're finding it hard, leave your part-time job, we'll send you money if you want,
yeah,
just keep
yeah.
focusing. So that just those words of encouragement and inspiration, those were a lot. But apart from that, honestly, it was pretty much just trial and error. And yeah,
You forgot one thing. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah, obviously LinkedIn is obviously
Yes.
biggest resource.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the biggest resource, but then again, how to use it properly, how to
Yeah.
uh, optimize your usage of LinkedIn, that's also important. You don't just need to be, posting around LinkedIn and just commenting on things.
Yeah.
Optimize your profile as well. Sell yourself.
Yes.
Getting a job in the UK, I'd say there's one main thing. It's about luck as well. A lot about luck, and then about selling yourself, right? And in any job, if you're able to sell yourself to the recruiters, to the interviewers, you're in for it, right? So even on LinkedIn,
Mm.
even if you've done a basic job,
Yeah.
present it nicely, use nice keywords, look
Yes.
at different job adverts, see what skills they require,
Yeah.
right? Add those skills to your profile if obviously if you have them.
Yeah.
Look at those keywords in the job description.
Yeah.
Add those keywords to your bio, to your work experience, to your resume,
Yeah.
so that when a recruiter searches up something, your profile comes up as the top few suggestions.
Perfectly fine. Now, this is the last question, and we have 4 minutes left on this call. Abdullah, what's one key takeaway or insight from your overall experience that you would like to share? It could be a one-line experience, it could be a one-line insight, or it could be anything. What's your takeaway?
My key takeaway is I mentioned this at the start as well, and I'm a very strong follower of this. Never stop believing, right? And that directly relates to having a sane mental state of mind as well,
Oh
right?
yes.
And that is something a very close friend of mine told me in the beginning. I wasn't, it was new for me. I wasn't in a very good headspace.
Mm,
He
mm,
told me one thing. He said, mentally strong होना यहाँ पे बहुत जरूरी है, because if you're not mentally strong, right, you won't be able to work properly, study properly, apply for jobs properly, earn money properly, socialize properly. You won't be able
mm,
to do anything, and especially in a new alien foreign place like
yeah,
the UK,
yeah,
right? So you have to just keep believing that I can inshallah do it,
yeah,
right? Keep praying, have a strong connection with Allah, that whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen from Allah, right? Just keep believing in that, and always try keep giving you 100%. Never get disheartened. People get a lot of setbacks. I know a friend who got a job. He was about to go shopping for his office clothes, and he got
Mm,
the job offer has been withdrawn, right?
wow.
I've seen, and now he's got Alhamdulillah, and now he's got a
Yeah.
sponsored
Yeah.
from the company. So I've seen people facing such setbacks, but they do not give up. So do not give up. If it's meant for you, that guy had 1 month left in the expiry of his PSW, right?
Okay.
A month before his visa got approved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just keep trying. If you're meant to live in the UK, you will live in the UK. You won't even know where the sponsorship comes from.
That's very true. Or you know what? ये जो बात तेरा never stop believing. I know we have run out of time now, but मैंने अपने कमरे में एक सूरत लगाई हुई है जो कि अल्लाह ताला ने हज़रत सल्लम पे उतारी थी when he was actually depressed. I can't recall the name of the surah. वो मेरे पीछे लगी हुई है दीवार के ऊपर. But that सूरत it really does help you क्योंकि until and unless आपका faith strong नहीं है, until and unless आप इस चीज को believe नहीं करोगे कि यार जो होगा वो बेहतरी के लिए होगा. और पता है यूके हो या कहीं भी हो, it doesn't really matter. I mean, आप अपनी the thing is आपने मेहनत करनी है और आपने
Yes,
अपनी पूरी जान लगानी है. उसके बाद जो होगा वो होगा, नहीं होगा तो यार जो आगे होना है ना उसमें आप समझो कि वो अल्लाह ताला की तरफ से बेहतर था. As
exactly.
long as you go along with this mindset, you can survive in a completely alien place. यूके हो गया या कोई भी नया मुल्क हो गया, वो एक expatriate के लिए एक alien place है. With this, I'm going to conclude. Abdullah Alam, thank you so much for your time. Abdullah Alam, once again, he is analytics manager with HSBC, moved to England in 2022 and graduated in 23. Abdullah, thank you so much. And hopefully, see you in Birmingham, inshallah.
Thank you. It's been lovely
Take care,
talking.
bro. Same here,
Take
bro. Take care. Assalamu
care.
alaikum.
Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.